Yo guys, welcome back to Sempre Inter TV, the channel that's keeping you up to date with what's going on in the world of Inter. And today we're back again with some juicy episode of Stat Talk, the show where we kind of look at Inter transfer targets or the recommendations that we make in terms of players Inter should buy depending on the statistics. And today we're taking a bit more of a look using the actual rumours. Usually we try to ignore the rumours and things and try to have more of an objective view, but today we're looking at the strikers that have been linked with Inter, whereas in the last episode we recommended the strikers that Inter should buy in terms of target men that would suit Antonio Conte's style depending on their statistics. And today we're going to look at what the Gazzetta, the Corriere, the Sun, the Mirror, all those newspapers and websites have been linking us to. And of course I got my right hand man Cami, who will be going through the analysis of all those players. And of course we have to start with Mr. 85 million pound man Romelu Lukaku. As you guys know, in the media he's the one that's been constantly being linked to us. Apparently Auxilio Marotta flew out to London to meet with the Man United representatives and presented their first offer of a loan with the obligation to buy spread over 3 years. Apparently Man United weren't too happy with the deal offered and they want more money. If you follow me or Cami on Twitter, which should, you'll see that we're not against the incoming of Romelu Lukaku, but those figures that are being talked about are absolutely ridiculous, outrageous. But anyway, let's see what are Lukaku's stats. Are they good enough to play for Inter? And otherwise, what are the stats of the alternatives? So take it away, Cami.
Romelu Lukaku is seemingly Inter's #1 transfer target for the summer transfer window. His current employers, Manchester United, are believed to be demanding at least €88 million to part ways with him, which would make him Inter's record transfer by some margin. Is the powerful Belgian worth that kind of money, or are Inter better off buying someone else and using any money not spent to perhaps fund another move? Reports from the Italian media have suggested that Frankfurt's Ante Rebic and Atalanta's Duvan Zapata are two alternatives that Inter have in mind should they fail in the pursuit of Lukaku. Using Scout data, let's compare the three of them. Starting with Lukaku, he has been with United for 2 years and scored 12 goals in 32 Premier League appearances this past season. He has a transfer market evaluation of €75 million, which is 13 million less than what the Red Devils are reportedly wanting for him. His desire to play for Inter is well known, and many reports have even suggested that there's already an agreement in place over personal terms. However, there are many detractors who are quite rightly questioning his ball control ability and his weight gain over the last season or so. The player himself has already admitted to gaining too much muscle whilst preparing for the 2018 World Cup, but quite clearly his best form was shown in an Everton shirt when his physique was much leaner. Lukaku near enough hit his expected goals, XG, mark for the past season as he fell just 0.3 short. He had 4.03 touches in the box per 90 minutes and managed 2.17 shots per 90 minutes last term, with just over 57% of those shots being on target. He had a solid 21.42% conversion rate and had 0.46 goals per 90 minutes from the park. He is also effective in the air, as evidenced by the fact he won 45% of his aerial battles. Next, we have Zapata. This past season was the Colombian's breakout season as he netted 23 goals in 37 league appearances. While he undoubtedly performed last season, this was just the first time in his career that he managed more than 15 goals in a season, and therefore Inter certainly have to look at him with a bit of caution. Can he repeat his exploits again this coming season, whichever club he is playing for? Although valued by transfer market at €40 million, it is difficult to see Atalanta letting him go for anything less than 50 million. Many of his detractors quite rightly point to his lack of goals over the years and a successful stint at a bigger club in Napoli, but football has seen many stories of late peakers, and Zapata may well be one of those. Zapata exceeded his XG mark by almost 4 goals and can boast an impressive 0.67 goals per 90 minutes, 0.11 higher than his expected goals per 90 minutes. He had 3.2 shots per 90 minutes with 6.63 touches in the box per 90, meaning almost every other touch he had was in fact a shot. 47.71% of his shots hit the target and had an impressive 21.1% conversion rate. He is also alright in the air, although not as good as Lukaku, as he won 37.08% of his aerial battles. Finally, we have Ante Rebic. The Croatian was part of the deadly Frankfurt attack that also included Sebastian Haller and Lukaku. He scored 10 goals in 28 Bundesliga outings last season, which was the first time since the 2012-13 season, when he was still playing in his native Croatia, that he hit double figures. Having already lost Jovic to Real Madrid, and with Haller looking likely to leave also, it remains to be seen whether Frankfurt would be willing to let another of last season's stars go. With Rebic, it's also worth remembering that he definitely didn't set the world alight in his previous stint in Italy. If he is signed, it would be very difficult to see him being given the goal-scoring number 9 role, as most of his career has been spent on the wings or as a second striker even, definitely not as a prolific striker. While a hard-working and an athletic player, he certainly isn't the right man to rely on for goals. Rebic bettered his XG by 1.56 goals and scored 0.43 goals per 90 minutes he spent on the pitch, which is 0.7 higher than his expected goals per 90 minutes. He had a 47.46% success rate when it came to getting his shots on target, and he managed 2.55 shots per 90 minutes played. His 16.94% conversion rate certainly isn't great, but as said earlier, he has never really been an out-and-out striker. He managed 3.72 touches in the box per 90 minutes and won 27.36% of his aerial duels, of which he had 4.58 per 90 minutes played. Lukaku is without doubt the most proven of the three players given his goal record in the past few seasons, but at the same time he is certainly the most unobtainable. The outrageous asking price surely should turn Inter onto more affordable options who can surely do just as good, if not a better job than the big Belgian. It is abundantly clear that Inter's owners Suning are wanting to flex this summer, but they can show their strength by calling it quits and turning their attention elsewhere. Of Rebic and Zapata, we would opt for Duvan Zapata. He's a better option both statistically and stylistically, but there are certainly reservations about him, given he's hardly been prolific up until last season. Was he just a one-season wonder, or perhaps he was just a product of the great Gianpiero Gasperini system at Atalanta? Of the three players mentioned, who would you sign if you were in charge? If you wouldn't sign any of them, who would you sign instead?
Brilliant. As always, Cami, thank you very much for that analysis. The recommendation that we are going for is Duvan Zapata of Atalanta. As Cami said, yes, this is his first breakout season. I wasn't a big fan of him in general before, but looking at the other alternatives, I think he is the best alternative out there. Similarly to Lukaku, his ball control doesn't really, fill me with confidence. He is a bit clumsy on the ball at times, but once again, he does offer real pace, power, and this past season he offered a lot of goals. But was it just the system, as Cami said? Was it the Gasperini magic touch? He is rumoured to be valued around 30 to 40 million compared to the double the amount that would be for Lukaku. So I think, if it's a gamble worth taking. In the previous videos, there's been a lot of calls for Sebastian Haller, but he seems like he has, or he's close to joining West Ham. But for number 9 role, I think Duvan Zapata is the one. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Who would you sign? Would you go with mine and Cami's recommendation? Or are you going to go against the flow? Or comment below. Who do you think Inter should sign? But yeah, that's it for today's episode, guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, Forza Inter.